Hello everyone, I'm going to show you how to do your work cited in this video. Please watch the video all the way through before you start doing your own because there are some important details for you to get here. So all the instructions are written on this page, and you'll notice if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there is a title work cited with a blank page below it. This is where you're going to be cutting and pasting your own information and creating the works cited in its draft copy. And then when you finalize it here, you're going to be copying and pasting it to the bottom of your actual essay. So we're going to start by opening our possible sources page. I'm going to use Abby's as a sample. So Abby, you get a little bonus. You get to see me working with your information, and that should help you. Well, basically what we're going to be doing is first getting all of the MEL citations. The MEL citations were already formatted for you. Remember, you had to copy them to the top of this source box, right? So all we're going to do is we're going to take these, we're going to Control C to copy, and we're going to go over here and we're going to go ahead and Control V to paste. So they'll be pretty long, some of them, and we're just going to do that one by one, copying, Control C, and going back to Control V. So I'm going to stop there with those two. Now, you also have some websites. Whoops. I'm just keep them separate there so I can see them. Now you also have some websites that you used for this source. And for the websites, you didn't have the citation already formatted for you. So what we have to do is format the citation ourselves. And that's what this page is all about. What you see in blue are the directions for how to format a citation for a website in MLA format. And the first example here is just kind of a generic example or explanation of what goes where and how it should look. So for example, you always start with the author's last name and then a comma and their first name with a period. And then the title of the article or the web page that you read is in quotation marks. And then you put the title of the website in italics. You put the date it was published after that, and then at the very end, your date of access. So this is how it would look with some actual information in it. This is, of course, some fake information, but here's an example. So author's name is Johnson, comma, Angie, period. How to make a works cited in MLA format is the title of the article. It's on a site called the English Teacher Researcher site. It was published in 2016, and I accessed it on the 10th of March, 2017. All right, so there's some details here to draw your attention to explaining the formatting nitty-gritty stuff to you. Now, many of you have websites that don't have authors, and if that's the case, you can use, if there is one, an organization name for the author. So maybe there's a group or an organization that's responsible for the information, and you could call them the author, sort of like a group author. So in my case, I'm going to pretend now that this example is not made by Angie Johnson, but it's written by the Stanford University Department of English. And they're responsible for the information, so I'm putting them first. And the title remains the same, How to Make a Works Cited in MLA Format, but it's on a different site. It's on the Stanford Writing Resource site, which was published in 2014, and I accessed on the 10th of March, 2017. You see? So that's how it would look in the case in which you had an organization for an author. Now here's some more details on how it should look, which I'm going to be showing you. So let's talk about how to do this now. So you're going to go back to your possible sources and notes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this whole thing so I don't have to keep going back and forth. I'm going to paste it right there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this format here, right? Use this format here. In fact, I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to put it down here so I can see what they should look like. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start filling this in. Let's see. The title of my author is Parker, comma, space, Clifton. And there's a period after it. Like that. The title of my page is The Stanford Research Shows Pitfalls of homework. That's the article I read. There's a period and then a quotation. And here I'm going to type in the title of the site, which is the Stanford News in this case. It was published on the 10th of March, 2014. And it was accessed, well, let's see, we don't have a date of access. Do we have a date of access? Maybe it got, oh, there it is right there, 2/25/17. So it was accessed on 25th of February 2017. Now let's talk about this format here. Notice that the dates have the day first as a number, then an abbreviated month, and then the year, and there's a period after each of these parts, right? So that's how I format my citation. Now I can get rid of this stuff right here. And I'm going to go ahead and do that for every one of these sites, right? So this one, in this case, now I've got a different one. I'm going to copy all of this. I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to say, okay, now I need to fill this in again. So let's go get my standard format here. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back down to here. This is where I got to put it. And this time I've got, let's see, my last name is Spencer. My first name is John. And my title of the page or article is 10 Reasons to Get Rid of Homework and 5 Alternatives. And the title of my site, is John Spencer again. This may be a blog on his part. And it was, the date is the 20th of September of 2011. And I accessed on the 25th of February 2017, like that. So I'm going to keep on doing that until I'm completely finished. Now, I've got some problems here, right? I've got a big formatting issue. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make everything in the same font. I'm going to use Arial because that's what I wrote my paper in. Oops, and I'm going to put it in, say, 12-point font. And then I'm going to make it not bold. I'm going to make it standard like that. I'm going to make sure it's all, let's see, in black font. Oops. My color, oh, there it is. Yeah. So I have to make my color all black, right, like that. So now I need to make sure this is all double spaced. So I'm going to make this double spaced. Now I've got them all double spaced. They're getting closer, right? So now the next thing I have to do is make this hanging indent. This is called a hanging indent, where the first line goes all the way to the left and the second lines come in a little bit. So what we have to do is we have to take this whole citation, both of these citations, we're going to do this, and we're going to use, let's see, this to make it go, the whole thing go in, so that all of this is in, and then we're going to take the left one only, or the top one only, and pull it back to the margin like this. So you put your cursor here, and then you put your first line. Do you see where it says first line indent at the top? You've got my arrow on that little box, and it goes all the way to the left margin like that. And now all of my citations are consistent. Right? You can get rid of any extra spaces between citations. You don't need those. The whole thing can just be straight double spaced. And then the last thing I have to do is I have to put this in alphabetical order. So I've got, let's see, Spencer, Parker, Cone, and Ponte. So who comes first? Well, Parker's going to come first. I'm going to take that out, Control X, and Control V it right there. So now I've got Parker, Ponte, Cone, and Spencer. K-L-M-N-O-P. Oh, K goes before P. My bad, right? Learn your alphabet, Mrs. J. There, Cone, Parker, Ponte, and Spencer. Now it's correct. Make my works cited title right there, also in 12-point font or 11, whatever you use for the rest of your paper. It's going to be consistent. So there I have my works cited. Now all I have to do is copy this whole bad boy right here, Control-C, and paste it into the bottom of my paper on a new page. So it looks just like this on a separate page at the end of my argument. So that's how you do it. Good luck.